Now we start with the new topic, and that is very important one. That is reduced equation of state. We have derived the equation in terms of critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical volume. That is Pc, Vc is equal to 3 by 8 or Tc. Now we will eliminate these critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical volume also, and we will have another equation that will be in terms of reduced pressure, reduced volume, and reduced temperature. And we represent these reduced pressure, reduced volume, and reduced temperature by pi, phi, and theta. And that equation is known as reduced equation of state, and the law is known as law of corresponding state. एक्चुअल में क्या होता है कि आमतौर पर हम पहले लॉ की डेफिनेशन देते हैं, फिर हम ड्राइव करते हैं. यहाँ उल्टा रहेगा, पहले हम ये इक्वेशन ड्राइव करेंगे और फिर वो जो इक्वेशन आ जाएगी, जो मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन आ जाएगा, उसके बेस पे हम लॉ ऑफ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट की डेफिनेशन देंगे. तो बड़ा छोटा सा आर्टिकल है, लेकिन ये आर्टिकल भी आमतौर पे 3 नंबर का पूछा जाता है. और कभी कभार तो क्या होता है कि लॉ ऑफ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट की जब बात होती है तो हम ये पूरा ड्राइव तो कर देते हैं और लॉ ऑफ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट जो है उसकी डेफिनेशन नहीं देते, तो उसका 1 नंबर काट लेगा एग्जामिनर. और वाइस वर्सा है कि हमने सिर्फ लॉ ऑफ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट की डेफिनेशन दी और बाकी का एक्सप्रेशन नहीं किया तो वो आधा ही नंबर देगा. तो छोड़ने का 1 नंबर काटेगा, देने लिख के आएंगे तो उसका आधा नंबर देगा. एनी हाउ, we start with van der Waals equation, van der Waals reduced equation of state and the law of corresponding state. Van der Waals in 1881 showed that if the pressure, volume and temperature of a gas are expressed in terms of critical pressure, critical volume and critical temperature respectively, then we may have P is equal to pi Pc. What we are doing here, we are correlating the critical pressure with pressure, critical volume with volume, critical temperature with temperature. So in that case, P will be equal to pi Pc, V will be equal to phi Vc, and T will be equal to theta Tc. Here, remember this pi is not 22 by 7. This is just a symbol here. This pi will be known as reduced pressure. P is normal pressure, Pc is critical pressure, and this pi is reduced pressure. Here phi is reduced volume and theta is reduced temperature. So the quantities pi, phi and theta may be defined as, अब simply pi अगर हम लेंगे तो pi will be equal to P upon Pc, phi will be equal to V upon Vc, and theta will be equal to T upon Tc. The quantities, as I have already said, that pi, phi and theta are called reduced pressure, reduced volume and reduced temperature respectively. Substituting the values of P, V and T given by equation first in van der Waals equation. और van der Waals equation क्या है? P plus A upon V square into V minus B is equal to RT. So we will put in place of P, we will put pi Pc, in place of V, we will put phi Vc, and in place of T, we will put theta Tc. So equation third will become P की जगह pi Pc plus A upon phi square Vc square. ये आपके पास था A upon V square, तो V की जगह हमने क्या रख दिया? phi Vc, और उसका स्क्वायर हो जाएगा तो phi square Vc square, एंड देन V minus B, तो V की जगह क्या आ जाएगा? phi Vc, एंड RT, T की जगह आ जाएगा थीटा Tc. अब फिर से जैसे मैं कह रहा था कि भाई आपको Vc, Pc और Tc की जो वैल्यूज़ हैं, इनके लिए जो एक्सप्रेशन है, इनके लिए जो इक्वेशन है, वो आपको एकदम से बिल्कुल याद रहने चाहिए. ये तीसरी जगह है जहाँ पे यूज हो रहा है. मैंने जैसे बल्कि मैं 4 जगह कह देता हूँ। एक तो ये है कि वो जो एक्सप्रेशन हम ड्राइव करते हैं पीसी वीसी टीसी के लिए, तो कई बार कहीं बीच में थोड़ा बहुत हम भूल भी जाएं, तो अगर हमें फाइनल रिजल्ट याद है तो हमें डेरिवेशन में हेल्प करेगा। सबसे पहली चीज़ तो यही है। दूसरी चीज़, फिर उसके बाद हमने एक रिलेशन ड्राइव किया कि पी सी वी सी इक्वल टू 3/8 RTC। वहाँ भी हम पी सी वी सी और टी सी की जो डायरेक्ट वैल्यू हमें पता है वो हम यूज कर लेते हैं। और तीसरी चीज़ मैंने कहा कि भाई जो न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम्स हैं आमतौर पे डायरेक्ट न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी, वन वाल कांस्टेंट ए और बी की वैल्यू आपको दे देंगे, और वी सी पी सी और टी सी की वैल्यूज आपसे कैलकुलेट करवाएंगे, तो वहाँ फिर से आपको डायरेक्ट रिलेशन की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी। और चौथा मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे अब जब ये इक्वेशन आ गई है, यहाँ जहाँ भी पी सी वी सी और टी सी है उनकी जगह हम वी सी की जगह 3b, पी सी की जगह we will put a upon 27b square, and in place of tc we will put 8a upon 27 rb. Therefore we get pi pc a upon 27b square, then a upon 5 square vc square, vc is equal to 3b square 9b square. Again here it will be pi into vc is 3b minus b is equal to r theta. So after putting these values of PC, VC, PC and TC here, we will get this equation. अब ज़्यादातर बुक्स में क्या होता है कि ये सीधा इसके बाद सीधा ये स्टेप लिख देते हैं। बड़ी सिंपल सी चीज़ है वैसे तो, लेकिन ये अगर लिखा रहेगा तो आपके लिए आसानी रहेगी। हमने क्या किया, मल्टीप्लाइंग थ्रू आउट बाई 27b स्क्वायर वी गेट, एंड रिमेंबर हेयर व्हेन वी मल्टीप्लाई 27b स्क्वायर थ्रू आउट, हमने 27b स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई किया, तो यहाँ आपके पास क्या आ गया, 27b स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो कट गया, तो यहाँ तो बच जाएगा पाई ए प्लस ए अपॉन 5 स्क्वायर इंटू 3, तो 3a अपॉन 5 स्क्वायर, एंड देन 3b5 माइनस बी। यहाँ आप ध्यान देंगे, हमें लग रहा है कि भाई यहाँ और यहाँ तो हमने मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया 27b स्क्वायर से, लेकिन यहाँ और यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई नहीं किया। लेकिन वो क्योंकि ये ब्रैकेट में जो ये वैल्यू है ये ऑटोमेटिकली जब हम इसको 27b स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो ये तो ऑटोमेटिकली मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है। अगर यहाँ भी आप 27b स्क्वायर से अलग से मल्टीप्लाई कर दोगे तो ये गलत हो जाएगा। तो ये ए की जगह हमने 27b स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली इससे भी मल्टीप्लाई हो गया और इससे भी मल्टीप्लाई हो गया। So left hand side we will get pi a plus 3a upon 5 square into 3b5 minus b, और इस तरफ 27b स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो 27b कट जाएगा, ऊपर b जो आपके पास बच जाएगा 8ab और थीटा, r से r यहाँ कट जाएगा। So then next step again, ज़्यादातर बुक्स में फिर से ये नहीं लिखते, इससे सीधा ये लिख देते हैं, ये भी सिंपल स्टेप है वैसे तो उसमें क्या किया, डिवाइडिंग थ्रू आउट बाई ए बी। अब हमने इसको जब थ्रू आउट ए बी से हम डिवाइड करेंगे तो यहाँ तो सिंपली ए बी से जब डिवाइड किया तो ए बी से ए बी कट गया, राइट हैंड साइड तो सिर्फ बच गई 8 थीटा, और राइट हैंड साइड में देखो यहाँ ए और ये बी, तो यहाँ बच जाएगा पाई प्लस 3 अपॉन 5 स्क्वायर इंटू 3/5 माइनस 1 इज इक्वल टू 8 थीटा। एंड दिस equation 6th which is so obtained is known as reduced equation of state. You can see that in this equation we get this equation only in terms of reduced temperature, reduced pressure and reduced volume. This is reduced pressure, this is reduced volume and this is reduced temperature. So pi plus 3 upon 5 square into 3/5 minus 1 is equal to 8 theta. This is an equation which is only in terms of pi, phi and theta, means critical pressure, critical volume and reduced pressure, reduced volume and reduced temperature, and that's why this equation is called as reduced equation of state. In this equation, van der Waals constant A and B as well as critical temperature, critical pressure and critical volume, they have been eliminated. Now on the basis of this equation, a law known as law of corresponding state has been derived, or that is defined as that it is evident from equation 6 that if two substances have the same reduced pressure and same reduced temperature, say there are two substances or two gases which are having same reduced pressure and having the same reduced temperature, then they will satisfy this equation only when they have the same reduced volume. That simple statement is known as law of corresponding state. So it is evident from equation 6 that if two substances have the same reduced pressure and same reduced temperature, they must have the same reduced volume. The above statement is called law of corresponding state. अब फिर से आमतौर पे वैसे तो न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम इस पे बेस्ड नहीं पूछते हैं लॉ ऑफ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट पे, लेकिन कभी कभार एक आध बार ऐसा देखा गया है कि इस पे भी बेस्ड न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम पूछ लेते हैं। थोड़ा सा इस इक्वेशन को अप्लाई करना थोड़ा सा हमारे लिए मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन इक्वेशन डायरेक्ट यूज होनी है, वैल्यूज आपको दी हुई होंगी, यू हैव जस्ट टू कैलकुलेट द थिंग्स। वन एग्जांपल आई एम डिस्कसिंग हियर दैट कैलकुलेट द रिड्यूस्ड वॉल्यूम, reduced pressure of 1 mole of a real gas contained in a 5 liter container. So number of moles is 1 and volume is 5 liter. Under pressure of 5 atmosphere, what will be the temperature of the gas given? Tc is equal to 190.2 Kelvin, Vc is equal to 0.0988 liter per mole, and Pc critical pressure is 45.6 एटमॉस्फेयर। सो आपके पास दोनों चीजें दे रखी हैं, प्रेशर नॉर्मल प्रेशर 5 एटमॉस्फेयर और वॉल्यूम 5 लीटर। क्रिटिकल प्रेशर भी दे रखा है आपके पास 45.6 एटमॉस्फेयर, वीसी दे रखा है आपके पास, क्रिटिकल वॉल्यूम दे रखी है, क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर दे रखा है, और आपको कैलकुलेट क्या करना है, रिड्यूस्ड वॉल्यूम एंड रिड्यूस्ड प्रेशर। और उसके अलावा what will be the temperature, reduced temperature rather, sorry temperature। तो T आपके पास तीन चीजें कैलकुलेट करवा रखी है, reduced pressure, reduced volume and temperature। So reduced volume simply phi will be equal to V upon Vc। V की भी वैल्यू है आपके पास, Vc की भी वैल्यू, phi आ गया, एक वैल्यू आपके पास आ गई। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट है रिड्यूस्ड प्रेशर, सिंपली पाई इज इक्वल टू P अपॉन Pc। तो P की वैल्यू आपके पास दे रखी है, Pc की वैल्यू दे रखी है, पाई आ गया। नाउ द somewhat problem is in the calculation of temperature. So we will use this reduced equation of state, because by using reduced equation of state we will be able to calculate the value of theta, that is reduced temperature, and once you get the reduced temperature then we will be able to get the value of temperature, because critical temperature is given in the problem. So using this reduced equation of state, pi plus 3 upon 5 square into 3 phi minus 1 is equal to 8 theta. Here pi we have just calculated, phi also have been calculated in the question. So we will be able to calculate the value of theta. Theta will be equal to, ये 8 इस तरफ आ जाएगा तो पाई प्लस 3 अपॉन 5 स्क्वायर इंटू 3 5 माइनस 1 अपॉन 8। तो अब आपके पास पाई की वैल्यू हम रख देंगे, फाई की वैल्यू रख देंगे स्क्वायर करके, आपके पास यहाँ फाई की वैल्यू आ जाएगी, 8 से डिवाइड कर देंगे, यू विल गेट थीटा। एंड वंस यू गेट थीटा, सिंपली थीटा दैट इज रिड्यूस्ड टेम्परेचर विल बी इक्वल टू टेम्परेचर अपॉन क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर। सो टी विल बी इक्वल टू थीटा टी सी। तो थीटा आपके पास है जो हमने अभी कैलकुलेट किया है, क्रिटिकल रिड्यूस सॉरी टेम्परेचर, और क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर आपको न्यूमेरिकल में दे रखा है, यू विल गेट 397.3 केल्विन इज द आंसर। इसी तरह से नेक्स्ट न्यूमेरिकल सोल्ड एग्जांपल है, आपके पास दो अनसोल्ड एग्जांपल दे रखे हैं, यू हैव टू गो थ्रू दीज टू एग्जांपल्स आल्सो। नाउ द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज liquefaction of gases, and usually the question on liquefaction of gases is either in the form of a note, that write a note on liquefaction of gases, or we will be discussing mainly 3 methods. So usually by name एक किसी मेथड को आपसे पूछ लेते हैं कि डिस्कस लिंडेज प्रोसेस for liquefaction of gases, or by adiabatic demagnetization and likewise. And whenever the question is in the form of note, then what we have to discuss, we discuss something general, that how gas can be liquefied, and then any one of the method will be discussed in detail. As we have discussed earlier in this unit, that a gas can be liquefied either by applying high pressure or by lowering the temperature, or simultaneously by the combination of these two things, that we keep on lowering the temperature as well as keep on applying the high pressure also, then also the gas can be liquefied. So initially there are some old methods for the liquefaction of gases, and then some modern methods have been discussed here. So first method is Faraday's method. In case of Faraday's method, Faraday used a V-shaped tube sealed at both ends. Then at one end of the tube, the gas was prepared. Simultaneously, we are preparing the gas in one part of the apparatus, and then simultaneously the liquefaction of gas is carried out. So the gas was prepared, while at the other end the gas was liquefied under its own pressure, because when we prepare the gas and the tube is sealed, then some pressure will be developed, and that pressure developed can be so high that can liquefy the gas under own pressure, and keeping in freezing mixture to cool it. So we are giving the two treatments, that we are cooling the gas as well as also the increased pressure which is developed itself during the preparation of the gas, so gas can be liquefied easily. However, these gases which usually behave like ideal gases, N2O2, S2, etc., could not be liquefied under these conditions, because hydrogen particularly is very difficult to liquefy, and that's why these hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen are called as permanent gases. Why these gases, hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, are difficult to liquefy? This is based on their critical temperature value. Since the critical temperature of permanent gases like S2, helium, oxygen and nitrogen are much lower, therefore these gases cannot be liquefied by application of pressure alone. These gases can be liquefied first by cooling them below their critical temperature and then compressed under high pressure. Then the modern methods which we will be discussing three methods, and out of these three methods, two are important. Lindage process, and another is extension of this Lindage process, that is Claude's process. So first method is by adiabatic expansion of compressed gas. Adiabatic expansion of compressed gas, and that process is known as Lindage process. What are adiabatic process? Adiabatic process is that process in which neither heat can flow from the system to the surrounding nor from surrounding to the system. That means there is no exchange of heat takes place. So this process is based on Joule-Thomson effect. This is a very important effect, Joule-Thomson effect, and what this Joule-Thomson effect states, that when a gas under high pressure is allowed to expand adiabatically through a fine orifice, original word was orifice, means hole, into a region to low pressure, it is accompanied by cooling, except in case of hydrogen and helium, where instead of cooling, these gases are warmed up. So hydrogen and helium are two exceptions. Otherwise, all real gases, when are allowed to expand adiabatically, मैंने अभी बात की कि the process during which neither heat can flow from system to the surrounding nor from surrounding to the system, means there is no exchange of heat takes place during the process. So under adiabatic conditions, if a gas is allowed to expand through a small hole, through a small orifice, from high pressure side towards a low pressure. When the pressure is high, it will be in the compressed form, and when the pressure is low, then it will expand. And during this expansion, some work will be done. And when this work is done, then as the process is adiabatic, so this work done, which is there, that will consume some energy of the system itself, and therefore cooling will be observed. So we keep on repeating the process of adiabatic expansion over and again, so that the temperature is lowered further and further, and ultimately a stage will be reached when the temperature is so low that the gas is liquefied. Now in case of this Linde's process, the experimental setup is like this. You first just can understand the process, and then writing work can be done if the diagram is there. Here, what we do, the gas which is to be liquefied is allowed to enter from the point A. This will come to the compressor B, means here the gas is compressed to a higher pressure. And then that compressed gas or air is allowed to pass through this C. C is condenser. That means somewhat cooling is done while the compressed gas is passed through this compressor C. And then compressed and cooled gas is allowed to pass through the chamber D. By compressing and cooling, if some moisture is present in the air or gas, they will be condensed and will settle down in the chamber D, and they can be taken out. Then the compressed, cooled and dried because the moisture whatever is there, that will be removed from the air or gas. So the compressed, cooled and dried air is now allowed to expand through this jet J. Here the pressure, up to here the pressure is high, and as and when this comes out from the jet J, then what happens? That will expand. And when expansion takes place, then according to Joule-Thomson effect, cooling will be observed. However, in the first step, cooling may not be to such an extent that gas cannot be liquefied. So what happens? Again, that compressed, cooled and dried air, which is further cooled over here, that will again pass through this compressor. Again the same process will be repeated: compressed, cooled, dried, and then further expansion. So likewise, every time some lowering of temperature will be going on, and this process, cyclic process, will be repeated over and again. This repetition of process will keep on going on up to what stage? So that ultimately the temperature is so low, cooling is so done, that that gas, instead of going upward, that starts condensing downward, means liquefaction of gas starts. And then this liquefied gas can be taken out here. So this is all about the Linde's process for liquefaction of a gas. यहाँ पे जो मैंने अभी डिस्कस किया वही चीज़ें इसमें डिस्कस कर रखी थी. एयर टू बी लिक्विफाइड इज compressed to a pressure of about 200 atmosphere by means of a compressor B, and then pass through the condenser coil C, As a result, the air is cooled and the water vapors present condense to form the liquid and is removed in the chamber D. The dry air is then passed through the copper spiral E, which terminates into a jet J. The air expands through the jet J into the chamber F. This is the chamber F complete, where the pressure of the air falls down to about 50 atmosphere. See, here it was compressed by a pressure of about 200 atmosphere, and here in the chamber F, the pressure is quite low, about 50 atmosphere. So gas will be cooled down, and this process will be repeated over and again till the temperature is so low that the gas can be liquefied. Then next method is by adiabatic expansion of a compressed gas. यहाँ तक तो वही same है, involving some mechanical work. This is the additional thing. You can say this, and this method is known as Claude's process. So you can say that this Claude's process is the modification, or you can say just extension of Linde's process. Again, we will have this experimental setup, and we will discuss this experimental setup, and the experiment as a whole will be discussed itself. Here again, this is the inlet, the air or gas which is to be liquefied. This is compressor. यहाँ हमने जो कंडेंसर था आपके पास लिंडेज प्रोसेस में, उसकी हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है, because mechanical work which will be done. Again, remember here that the conditions are adiabatic, means the whole system is isolated, neither heat can flow from system to the surrounding nor from surrounding to the system. So this is again an adiabatic process. So the air which is to be liquefied is compressed here, and then compressed air is passed through this. A part of the compressed air will go to this chamber, and here it is a movable piston. That air which is coming over here, that will put the pressure on this piston. This piston will be moved backward, and some mechanical work will be done. And as the conditions are adiabatic, that mechanical work will be done at the cost of kinetic energy of the gas which is to be liquefied. So some lowering of temperature will take place here, and then that gas will enter into this chamber D. And a part of the air which was compressed over here, a part of that air comes here, and a part of that will come through this spiral coil C and will expand through the jet J. And after expansion, again lowering of temperature will be there. So cooling of the gas is done in two ways. One by this mechanical work, which is done by pushing the piston backward by the gas under adiabatic condition, and another is by the Joule-Thomson effect, that is expansion of the gas from higher pressure towards the lower pressure side, lower pressure chamber. So the cooled gas will again circulated through this compressor, and then again some mechanical work will be done, and likewise it will keep on going on till the temperature is so low that it is liquefied. So this gas can be liquefied easily by Claude's process also. Then last method is by adiabatic demagnetization. Adiabatic, again you can see that all these methods, first Linde's process, second Claude's process, and third this demagnetization, all these are under adiabatic conditions. So by adiabatic demagnetization, here the concept which is being used, the process is based upon the concept or principle that when a magnetized body is demagnetized, say there is a substance which is magnetized and it is allowed to get demagnetized but under adiabatic conditions, then what happens? The temperature of the body must fall. Lowering of temperature takes place. So when a suitable solid is magnetized, the order is increased, means the constituent particles are arranged in a systematic manner. So order is increased since various magnetic entities are aligned. When demagnetization is allowed to occur, the disorder returns and therefore the entropy increases, means orderness increases. Entropy is the measure of randomness or disorderness. Hence, heat must be absorbed and the cooling of the substance and its surrounding results. Thus, the gas surrounding such a magnetized substance can be cooled by repeated demagnetization to such an extent so that liquefaction of gas takes place. Actually, हम करेंगे क्या? जिस गैस को हमने लिक्विफाई करना है वो तो हम सराउंडिंग में लेंगे कंटेनर में, और अंदर जो मैग्नेटिक सब्सटेंस है उसको लेंगे. तो इनिशियली कह रहा है कि दैट सब्सटेंस इज मैग्नेटाइज्ड, मींस all the magnetic entities are aligned in a systematic manner. Then under adiabatic conditions, that magnetic substance is allowed to demagnetized. For demagnetization means these magnetic entities go away from each other, they becomes in the form of disorder. To bring out this disorder, some energy will be required. And because the system is isolated, means the process is being carried out under adiabatic conditions, so the system can't take energy from the surrounding. So it will take the energy of the gas itself, which is surrounding the magnetic substance. So some lowering of temperature will take place. Again, we magnetized and then demagnetized and keep on going on. Every time some lowering of temperature of the surrounding gas will take place, and ultimately the temperature will be so low that the liquefaction of gas can take place. So this is all about the second unit, that is gaseous state second और critical phenomenon. 2 मिनट मैं लेता हूँ हमने इस यूनिट में क्या क्या किया. एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू की अगर हम बात करें तो इस यूनिट में से हम जो कुछ भी करेंगे सब कुछ एग्जाम में पूछा जाएगा, किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी के सिलेबस में हो, इसमें से जो कुछ भी लगभग हमने किया वो सारा कुछ पूछा जाएगा. जस्ट मैं 2 मिनट लेके रिवाइज कर रहा हूँ हमने किया क्या. वी जस्ट स्टार्ट विद क्रिटिकल फिनोमेनन एंड क्रिटिकल कांस्टेंट. हमने डिफाइन किया क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर, क्रिटिकल प्रेशर, क्रिटिकल वॉल्यूम क्या है. देन एक्सपेरिमेंटल मेजरमेंट ऑफ क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर, प्रेशर एंड वॉल्यूम. So critical temperature and critical pressure can be measured by a single experiment, and for measurement of critical volume we require different experiment. The next topic which we have discussed was isotherms of real gases or isotherm of particularly carbon dioxide gas. And then the most important topic of this unit, that van der Waals equation and critical constant, that we have derived the expression for critical pressure, critical volume and critical temperature in terms of van der Waals constant A and B. And then the relation between critical temperature, critical pressure and critical volume, that means PC, VC and TC. Then some numerical problems we have discussed, some solved examples as well as some unsolved examples have been given in the text. And after that we discuss the reduced equation, derivation of reduced equation of state. Simple, in terms of reduced pressure, reduced volume and reduced temperature, and then definition of law of corresponding state. And last topic is the various methods for liquefaction of gases. We have discussed 4 methods particularly. Out of these 2 methods, that is Linde's process and Claude's process, are important. So this is all about your unit second, that is gaseous state second or critical phenomenon. That's all.